If you've ever wondered how top coaches get their first paying client, how they fill their workshops, how they sell without selling, and how they keep their clients coming back year after year, then you're in the right place. In this best of training video, we've put together the most impactful strategies from our 4 most successful sessions here at Masterminds Coaching. And do us a favor. If you like the videos, if you get a lot of value from the content, do subscribe to our channel. It's a small gesture, but it really means the world to us. So grab your notebook, because in the next 20 minutes, you're going to get the exact insights that can help your coaching business grow faster. And it's going to be a lot more fun along the way. 80% of new coaches quit before they ever sign a single client. We're going to talk about how to land your first coaching client without dancing on TikTok, without having to pay for ads, and without needing a big following.
Well, first, let me tell you one of the reasons why that statistic is so true. Is the biggest challenge coaches have, and they don't realize it until they get into it, is credibility. People have to understand that when you potentially have a client, you really have no credibility at all. They don't know you from Adam. They don't know me from Adam, even though I've been doing it for decades. So the biggest challenge is gaining credibility. And the best way to do that, to gain credibility, is through the workshop model. So I would go into the office and I would literally hand out flyers to everybody down the hall, upstairs, the next level, and I would get as many people to come down to the conference room in what we called a lunch and learn. And they have pizza, I would bring sodas, and we would then do a presentation where they learn things they never thought about before, whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's in executive coaching. And so that topic, after 30 minutes or even 45 minutes of presenting, you now have the credibility that you need to get a client. That's the secret.
And why do you think, I mean, it makes sense, right? But why do you think so many coaches struggle to kind of get out there?
Because they don't have a presentation to deliver. They don't have one. So at Mars Venus, we have 7 of them for the life coaches, 11 of them for the business coaches, to deliver something powerful to build credibility. But number one, if you're on your own, then you have to do that on your own. You got to develop a workshop or develop the PowerPoint slides and what's the content. They don't even know where to start doing something like that. So, and that takes a lot of work. That's a really good point. But I think the most important thing, and a lot of people don't know this, 78% of communication is nonverbal. So it's not what you're saying in the presentation as much as how you're saying it, your body language, your tone of voice, your raise of an eyebrow. Those are the kind of things that people subconsciously are going, this person knows what they're doing. I could work with this person. This person could hold me accountable. Do you know, those are the kind of things that are going on in a potential client's mind, is, can this person really help me? And after 2 or 3 workshops, you start building so much confidence. I did the exact same workshop every single month for those 60 months. I didn't do different ones. I was doing the exact same one. And so I mastered it. I mastered the material. I mastered the body language. I mastered how I deliver it. And it got to a point where my last workshop that I did, and it had to be my last one, I had 11 people came down to the conference room. I had 11 went to the complimentary session after. I had 11 become clients, and I didn't want 11 clients. I thought, okay, I'll get 2 or 3 more, but they literally went through the process where I got so confident at it, they all wanted to work with me. And they go, sure, because I built the credibility, I built the confidence, and now they go, sure, I'll have a complimentary session. And we teach you how to make that session so poignant, so powerful, that now you can offer your coaching packages. First step is filling the workshop. Filling the workshop before you do it. And the best way to do that is I just walk down the halls of the office and hand out flyers. But in an office, it's very easy to do. Friends and family in your neighborhood, just get, and small, intimate. I'm not talking about 50 or even 25 people. I'm talking about 10 or 12 or 8. Because then it becomes intimate. And we teach you how to engage people, not just deliver content, but engage them by asking questions in the workshop. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that? Has anybody ever tried that? Things like that that get them engaged.
So first, fill the workshop.
Build a workshop. 8 to 10 people. Then you conduct the workshop, you deliver it. Then you say, okay, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. And as a gift for coming to this workshop, I'd like to set up a complimentary session with each one of you.
Yeah.
And I give them a form to fill out to when's a good time and a little, just a quick assessment on where they are just to give us content for a really good session starting point. And then I have that complimentary session. And at the end of that session, I offer my 3 program options.
What would you recommend someone who's starting off and is trying to fill their workshops?
I'll tell you, one of the most important things, and a lot of people don't know this, every business is always trying to find value add for their clients, for their customers. And what I learned that works every single time is to set up a strategic alliance with another company that already has your client base in it. And you can do a workshop in their business for their clients that it looks like, and I'll tell you a little story. The first time that this happened to me, I thought, okay, who has small business clients as their customers? And I started thinking, okay, banks do, and commercial real estate because they deal with businesses, commercial insurance. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, accountants. Accountants have a lot of small business owners that they do the books for or they do the taxes for. And then I had an epiphany. My brother's an accountant. Let me call my brother and see if I can do a workshop, a business building workshop for his clients. So I called him up. He's in California. He said, what workshop? Let me see it. So I had to get in my car. I drove to LA. I opened up my laptop. I showed him the presentation. He goes, this is really good stuff. Sure, I'll invite my clients to come to a business building workshop because I do their taxes, I do their books, but I never thought about helping them in business. The funny thing was, when I did the workshop, I went back, he did all the marketing, he sent out the flyers, I didn't have to do anything. And when I walked in, I presented it, they went and thanked him, not me. They went and said, hey, Bernie, thank you so much for doing this workshop, for arranging this for us. Business owners are always looking for value add. That one, setting up strategic alliances, works every single time because they want to give value to their clients and you have that value.
Well, how do you go about looking for those strategic partnerships? Do you have like a process that you can share?
Well, yes. The first thing I want to think of is who is my avatar? Who's my ideal client? So if it's in business, it's a small business owner. I have a 5-5-5 rule of my avatar. And then the second step, once you have that avatar, is who is already doing business with that kind of avatar. And when I thought about small business owners, I thought about accountants. I thought about, commercial real estate. I thought about commercial insurance. I thought about banks. I thought, who does business with small business owners? And then 3, you physically have to pick up the phone or walk into their business and say, I have an amazing idea. I'd love to present this workshop to your clients. Guess who they're going to thank? Not me. They're going to thank you for putting this together for them. It's a really effective strategy, is doing it.
But out of 10, like, how was it for you? Did you get a lot of rejections?
2 or 3 out of 10. Yeah, no, the time to do that, or no, I don't really need to give them different value or additional value, or there's just not a connection between you and that person. That happens, but that's okay because, like I said, I only need one. I need one good alliance. I did that workshop in her studio for 12 months in a row, every single month.
And then you apply that 4-step sales process that we've talked about in a previous video, which so many coaches say, I love coaching, but I hate selling. Today, I am speaking to Rich Bernstein, the CEO and president of Mars Venus Coaching. He's been selling since the age of 16, and he'll talk to us about how coaches can transform this fear of selling into a love of helping other people.
The biggest mistake a coach can make is trying to sell coaching. Because that's not our product. That is not what we're selling. We don't want to sell it to people. We want them to taste it. We want them to be coached into want to be coached. So we're coaching them to make a decision to transform their life. And as they're not selling coaching, they're selling a vision. So they have to pull that vision out of that prospective client, and then that's what I do. And if you learn how to do that and you do it with a love, because you're really helping somebody see what their vision is, to see what they really want in life, whether it's relationship or it's health or it's, finance, whatever it is in their life, if they see it and touch it and feel it, now they want that. And all you're doing is helping them get it. Whether they work with you or not, they're going to then see a vision, because there's a part of our brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS. And when a person sees it clearly, now the brain starts figuring out, how do I get that? How can I have that? And you're the coach right in front of them. So they start looking at you as, you got me to see this vision. I want to work with you. And if I take that vision, I can connect it to a why do you want that? Now we have some power behind it and the desires there to at least want to know more about how coaching can get me to have that. And as coaches, we're always getting them to go to the other side of that formula for change, which is, this is your dissatisfaction, this is your vision. Spend your time over here on the vision, focus on that vision, and you begin to manifest it. A lot of people believe that if I'm passionate about what I do, if I love what I do, I'm going to be successful at it. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, whoever's listening to this, because that's not true. Yes, you need passion. Passion is important. Nobody's more passionate about coaching than me. I've been doing it almost 25 years now. I just love it. But that is not what dictates success. The way in which you articulate what you do dictates your success. So how do you articulate what you do? The first thing is, if you're out and about, or you're at a networking event, or even if you're doing a workshop or whatever you do, when people ask you, what do you do? We at Mars Venus are taught to say things like, well, I'm a gender intelligent Mars Venus coach. Everybody says, what is that? What? A gender intelligent life and relationship coach? What is that? And the first thing you have to do is not answer that question. You have to say, and this is the hardest part, is to say, before I answer that, would it be okay if I ask you a few questions? The first step in the program is, I want to see how committed they are to that vision, whatever it is. I want my husband to talk nicely to me. Let's see if you're committed to that. So you know what I'm willing to do since I met you today? I'm willing to have a complimentary session with you, but I need you to fill out this form. It's just going to give us a snapshot so we have a very productive call. Please fill out this form, and I'm done. That's step two, is I ask them to fill out a form. And then I can tell their level of commitment, not just by if they fill it out or not, but if they actually, how quickly they fill it out. And then I'm going to take that form and I'm going to call them up and I'm going to use that form as a guide. And again, no selling. I'm going to D and V them. Dissatisfaction and vision. Whatever is the lowest score on that form, we have a very, simple form that just ranks all different areas of their life. And you take that form and you find the lowest score and you simply say, why did you rank yourself a 3 in your relationship? When you have clarity and desire, now the reticular activating system kicks in, and now I'm ready to, at the end of that session, go, okay, now are you ready to go to the next step, is a paid session. Just one session for $100. I just want to see if they're committed enough, and it has to make sense that that is 1/4 of your monthly fee, because that would make sense to them. And so then I will say to them, you know what? We had a great session. If you want to go to the next step where we go in much more detail, that'll be $100 or that'll be $500. And now I want to see, first, were they committed enough to invest a little bit of time? Now I want to see if they're committed enough to invest a little money. Not to buy a program. I'm not asking them to buy anything. Just, do you want to keep going? We can have one session. So I always do one complimentary session and one paid session. At the end of that paid session, which we go much more in detail and much more clarity on the vision, now I can show them my 3 program options. Now, I did do another video, if you can find that one, on client retention. That is a really important one, because what I'm going to do in that session and show my program options is I never sell coaching by so many sessions. That's a big mistake that coaches make, is they sell it by 8 sessions or 10 or 12. And if you buy 12 sessions, you get a little discount. The problem is, at the end of those 12 sessions, they think it's over.
As a coach, how can I keep my clients coming back session after session, month after month, year after year?
Well, we actually take them through a process of them understanding what to expect. So in our sales process, we're very much setting them up. We're not selling them to buy coaching. We're turning it around to show them the vision that they actually want. And that vision is what coaching is going to move them toward. So the real role of a coach in the sales process is to bring them clarity around what they actually want. Once you have clarity, then we can craft a plan. Now I know where I am and where I want to go. We can craft a plan. And then from there on out, it's accountability to doing the strategies that we discussed in the sales process. So if you're not laying out that expectation, they don't know what to expect. And that's where misunderstandings come in. At the very beginning of my career, there were misunderstandings until I learned how to sell it properly.
And then what's next? So we have the positioning, what you call it, right? The way you call it.
Right?
So
Laying out the
setting up the
expectations.
expectations, right?
Right? And then we give them a document called an alignment that aligns their head and their heart. So they really start getting clarity on what they really want. Once you do that, and this is what's critical to keeping clients long term, is when you know where they are and where they want to go, you must put it on a scale, on a measurable scale. And it doesn't matter if it's subjective to that person. Many times I'll ask a man client, how is your relationship? And he'll say, oh, it's a 6. And I'll ask the wife and she'll say, oh, it's a 4 or a 3. So it doesn't matter. I can have two different answers, but now I know if one is a 4 and the other, the goal is to get to a 10, the gap there is 6. Right? And if I take that 6 and I want to get them there in 12 weeks, because we always create a 90-day plan, then they need to move 0.5 on that scale every single week. So it's very important that we're actually measuring that progress and they can see it, touch it, feel it, taste it, not just feel it, but actually see it with their eyes. And that's why that measuring works so well, is they actually see the progress, not the result. If you're a good coach, don't worry about results. Focus on progress. One very important thing is I end every single session with this one question. What value did you get today from today's session? What value did you get? What did you learn about yourself? Or what are you going to incorporate this week that you now see things with a different light? That value question keeps them long term as well, because they keep saying to themselves out loud to you, so they hear themselves say it, that I got this value. I learned this about myself. A lot of coaches are hesitant to ask that question because they believe I'm looking for kudos. I'm looking for you to tell me I'm a great coach. You can't come from that approach. You have to come from, I want you to learn from hearing yourself what value you got. Reflect on the session itself and tell me what was the most valuable part.
Now, Rich, just before we finish, a parting advice to a coach who's been struggling with retaining clients. What can you tell? What's one thing they can do immediately that will change the way they retain their clients?
I would say probably practice how you position what coaching is. Do you know what I mean? That's so important of how you articulate what coaching is, not your passion for it. I know everybody's passionate about helping people, but passion does not dictate your success. The way in which you articulate what it is does. So that's the advice. Understand what coaching is and articulate it that way very clearly. At Mars Venus, our articulation that we teach is clarity, planning, and accountability. Those 3 words. And it can't be fluffy. Oh, we're going to help you with your dreams and your goals. And I'm going to cheerlead you. And I'm going to make you feel good and inspire you. We're going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. No. We want to be very clear at Mars Venus. What is coaching? First, we bring you clarity. Then we craft a plan. And then we hold you accountable to implementing that plan so that you move on that scale toward whatever you want in life.
Now you've seen those incredibly valuable insights. Imagine what you can do when you have those tools in your own coaching practice. If you're ready to explore what it takes to become a certified Mars Venus coach, then click on the link below and schedule a call with one of our team. We're more than happy to talk you through our proven system and show you how we can help you start strong, grow your coaching business, and create the impact that you've always wanted to for your clients and also for yourself. I'm Helmut Waltuber, from Mars Venus Coaching, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.